to the hotel, to the airport, to the stadium, to the practice facility. You make sure that the players, the coaches, everybody involved gets where they need to go.
So you're a bus driver in the game?
You're listening to the Junior Birdman Podcast.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Junior Birdman Podcast. Today we are joined by a legend, John Maddon, who's famous for the action video game series release, especially as it relates to college and professional football, is here to join us. He's here to talk about a new series of video games he's releasing, similar to his original, but with a little bit of a twist. I can't wait to hear what this whole new series is all about. John, can you hear us okay? And welcome to the Junior Birdman Podcast.
Well, thanks again for having me, Birdman, and I can't wait to talk about this great game, another great game in the Madden Madness series.
Well, I can't wait to hear about it. And I got to tell you, I grew up as a kid playing, the action series where you're the quarterback and you're calling the plays and you're emulating the players on the field. But I understand this series has something different, a new twist, something you've added that's a little different. Can you tell us what's going on in the new series?
Sure. Well, as you know, we never disappoint when it comes to the Madden Madness series, and this new game is no different. We've put a lot of time, a lot of effort in this. We know it's going to be really exciting for players. We think once they get it in their hands, they're not going to want to put this down. There's just challenges and excitement at every turn and all kinds of new ways to explore the game. It's just very unique. This game is called Driver Madness. This game, your responsibilities involve making sure that the players, that the coaches, that the entire team staff get where they need to go, to the hotel, to the airport, to the stadium, to the practice facility. You make sure that the players, the coaches, everybody involved gets where they need to go.
So you're a bus driver in the game? Is that right?
That's right. You're in charge of making sure everybody's on the bus. That includes the coaches. That includes the training staff, not just the players. That includes the band. That includes all the technical people, all the equipment people, all of the ancillary staff. You have to make sure they're on board. You have to make sure all of the gear is properly stowed in the bus. You also have to know about how you're going to exit the parking garage area, the parking area, whether you're going to have to deal with crowds before and after a game. You also have to deal with hotels and where you're going to park, and hotels where you're going to unload drivers. You have to know whether you go in the up ramp or the down ramp when you get to the hotel. So you need quick reflexes. You got to use hand-eye coordination to make these split-second decisions to be successful in the video game.
Okay. I mean, it sounds unique. What kind of challenges do players face when they're actually playing the game?
Well, one of the biggest challenges you're going to deal with as the bus driver is traffic, so you're going to have to make decisions about which is the best course for you to take when you're going from the stadium to the hotel or from the airport to the hotel. You're going to have to make sure you pick the best route, because you don't want to get the people on the bus upset at you. You lose points. You start upsetting the players or the coaches. So you got to pick the best route with the least amount of traffic. That's one of the biggest challenges. You also have to make sure that you keep the bus cool for the players and the staff that's on board, because a hot bus is a nasty bus. You lose points. People are uncomfortable on your bus as well. But those are some of the biggest challenges. And of course, like I talked about, making sure you get in and out of parking areas in a timely fashion. You get more points if you avoid traffic, and if you have a route that gets you in and out of the stadium quicker. You can advance to higher levels of bus driver, the better you play the game.
Okay, so traffic, comfort, parking. Are there other challenges besides that in the game that players are going to experience?
Sure. Well, some of the other challenges are you have to try to keep the bus clean. If the bus is dirty and people don't, the players and the coaches and the trainers and those guys don't want to travel on your bus, then, you're going to lose points for that too. And you also got to make sure you keep the bus stocked with snacks and drinks. And as you advance into higher levels, you're able to provide the players and coaches better snacks and better drinks. It makes them more comfortable. And then your rides end up being better from the stadium to and from the hotel, the airport, and you end up advancing a little better. Weather also plays a part in that. So how well you're able to get team and staff in and out of the stadium when it's raining or snowing, that also plays into it. If you do a good job when the weather's bad, you also earn more points in the game. Conversely, if the weather's good and you get stuck in traffic, you lose a lot of points. So there's a lot of unique challenges in the game that make it really exciting for players.
Okay, I see. What's the goal of the game for the player?
Well, as a real bus driver, your goal is to make sure everybody is safe, getting from where you're taking them to where they're going, but that's not as important in the game. The main thing in the game is speed and efficiency, planning effective routes, and keeping everybody happy. So if that means you have to be a little bit dangerous on the highway, then you end up getting rewarded for that as long as it works out. Now, if you end up wrecking the bus, then you have to start all over in level 1. So you also got to be very wary of that. You don't want to get fired as the bus driver. So we do encourage you to be safe when you're driving a real bus. But in the game, you can take a few challenges because you want to advance and make the game a little more exciting for yourself.
Okay, so at least you're driving the bus fast, or, that sounds like it's at least a little exciting, so that takes some challenge. That should be fun for people who are trying to play the game for sure.
Yeah, well, we didn't want to come up with just some boring game where you're doing something stupid, so that's why we made it so you drive the bus a little bit faster, and, so sometimes the snacks go bad. So it makes the game much more exciting than it would if you're just a regular bus driver.
Okay, yeah, no, absolutely. So this is the first game in this series. You have a whole slew of games, I understand, planned for this, similar to this as well.
Well, we have a lot of games in development, equally as exciting as Driver Madness. And we know when those come out, people are going to be excited about them as well. And I'll be glad to come back and talk about those as well.
Well, that's very generous of you. We can't wait to hear about them when you do come back, and we welcome you to come back anytime and talk about those as they come out as well. John, thanks again so much for joining us here today, and we can't wait to talk to you again in the near future.
Thank you, Birdman. Always a pleasure to talk with you.
There he goes, folks.
Thank you for listening to the Junior Birdman Podcast. Be sure to like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell to be alerted when new videos are posted.